Hey everyone, I'm Almar of almarsguides.com, and this video here is going to be about the loot you get in world versus world situations. Now, since my channel is pretty much dedicated solely to farming, making money, trading post guides, and stuff like that, I wanted to start branching out into other areas of the game, such as world versus world. But first, I wanted to start making, I guess you could call them, transitional videos. Since I focus on making money, I'm going to make a few videos first about like making money in the world versus world situations and stuff like that. That way, it's still relevant to my channel, but also starting to move into new territory. So, many people always wonder what it would be like to run Magic Find in world versus world, and that's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. Now, I run with about 83% Magic Find on my Thief in War v War situations, and that's primarily because I've just been too lazy. Damn, throat is all clogged up. I've just been too lazy to take it off. I created this Guardian, which I'm playing actually right now, but not in the course of this video, to pretty much stack Magic Find. That way I could take it all off of my Thief, and I could build my Thief a more serious manner, I guess you could say. And so far, I've not taken any of the Magic Find off my Thief. I still have the Sigil of Luck, and I still have a full set of Traveler runes. And so I run with a lot of Magic Find pretty much at all times. It's a hybrid set, so it's not enough to gimp me, and it's not enough to really brag about. It's just a mediocre, middle baseline amount. So I get gray spikes a lot in War v War situations off mostly players, but I do get, loot from everything, of course. I've always found the most loot comes from players. Even when taking a keep, a supply camp, and things like that, I still find that players give the most. Now, if you're taking, say, a supply camp that is, or usually a supply camp, and say it's Danelion Pass, or whatever it is, and the faction that owns that supply camp has the Hylex, or say it's Umber, that supply camp, and the faction that owns it has the Ogres. Now, there's like an extra 8 or 9 mobs for you to kill there usually, and it usually equals, or you usually get tons of loot when that happens. I'll usually get a few badges of honor, some spikes, maybe 2 blues, a green item, and maybe fill in the rest with a little bit more spikes and a few more badges of honor. It honestly really depends on the situation. It's a toss-up a lot of the times, but I'll get into more of that later. Now let's see. A lot of the times what you're going to be finding is blue and green items. Now most of the time you can just trash these items, but in each, I guess they would be called Borderlands, Battlegrounds, or whatever you'd like to call them, there's usually Mystic Forges. There's one at the top of Stone Mist Castle, and there's also one in your main faction's Borderlands in your big keep, the one that would be at the northern portion in the Dead Center. And you can throw the green items into the Mystic Forge if you'd like and gamble for a rare, but I wouldn't really recommend throwing in the blue items, because not only would you have to gamble for a green, you'd have to then turn those green items and gamble for a rare after that, which would just be, it would take way too much luck in order to successfully manage and actually, acquire it, I guess you could say. Now, I seldom get rares when running in the War v War situations. I get maybe 1 rare a day from all, and I usually do a lot of leading and doing, and a lot of killing in War v War. Maybe I take like 50 towers a day, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1 keep, say 30 minutes of stalemate, about 100 supply camps, and the list pretty much goes on. I do a lot every single day, and it's pretty uncommon for me to see 1 rare item. About 1 a day, and about every 2 or 3 days I'll get a exotic item. Now, I've gotten some good, expensive exotic items. Like, I've gotten a few named ones, like, one was, like, Ier's Longbow or something like that. That sold for, I think, like, 5 gold. And then I got I can't even remember another one, but it was a named shield, I think. and that sold for about 3 gold or 2 gold, something around there. So it definitely is pretty easy to get or you can definitely see rare and exotic items drop there. It's just not as much as it normally would be, you know, like outside or anything like that. Now let's see what else there is. I usually get about 20 badges of honor every hour, depending on what I'm doing. Usually, I always lead offensive raids, or whatever you'd call that. And I usually get maybe per tower. I don't know if Magic Find affects the badge of honor drop rate. I've never Googled it or had any like luck looking it up or anything like that. But each tower I take usually rewards me with at least 1 or 2 badges of honor. And I usually end up being able to successfully tag all of the mobs. Now, 2 badges of honor per tower isn't too bad, depending on how many mobs are actually at the supply camp. Usually I get 1 or 2 for them too. I've always found more badges and more loot to come off players though than veteran guards or keep lords or anything like that. Let's see. With a good commander, you're gonna with a good commander that you're able to follow around and stuff like that, you're gonna make on average about 25 to 50 silver an hour, and that's after you sell all of the blues and greens and gray items and, you know, the crappy white items like the rawhide salvage materials and stuff like that. It's not that much money every hour, of course, but after all, it's world versus world. I mean, it's not there to make money. It's there for, you know, other stuff, whatever you'd like to call that other stuff. Having fun, I guess. Let's see. Aside from that, what type of food would I recommend you use? I know I get that question a lot as well. I don't use my Omnom Berry bars when I'm doing the WvW. I usually use any ice cream food, like a bowl of saffron ice cream or something like that, I think it's called. And all of those ice cream foods grant 5% more karma, and I always find that to be best to use in the WvW situations, because 5% more karma is much more useful than a little bit of Magic Find, which is pretty much useless in these situations anyway. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe you learned a little bit about the loot out there that you didn't know before. Maybe you knew it before and it was just a redundancy that refreshed your memory. Aside from that, either way, good luck, happy hunting, and I'll catch you guys around the next video. See you later.